This female officer had a special fetish. As long as she saw the prisoners being killed, she couldn't help but want to sleep with the men. However, what fascinated her even more was an extremely perverted Serbian circle dance. First of all, they would make the prisoners form a circle and put a chair behind each prisoner. At this point, the Croatian officer would randomly draw away a chair, and then the group of prisoners would then be made to follow the music and to spin around the chairs. And the louder the music, this group of prisoners will run faster. Then the officer's arm raised, the music will immediately stop, and this time the spinning prisoners must sit on a chair closest to their own. If not sit on the chair, will immediately be pulled out, and then with a kind of semicircular jagged daggers, will be the game loser's throat quickly slit, and in this way the prisoners died on the spot. Seeing this scene, the female officer could no longer control her inner turmoil, and then left the table alone. Seeing this scene, the male officer understood her meaning, and then followed the female officer to the car, and just like that, following the rhythm of the music, the two of them drove the car while enjoying the brutal massacre game outside. Then the game continued. Then the officer raised his hand again, and this time both prisoners grabbed the same chair, but in order to live, no one is willing to let go. See this scene? Directly to the officer amused to laugh. However, this did not save their lives. A prisoner directly by the dagger cut his neck. The other prisoner was hammered to crack the skull. Seeing such a cruel picture, this made the female officer even more horny, but you wouldn't have guessed that even crazier was yet to come. And this time, while the game was going on, the prisoners who survived had learned the hard way. And while they were running, they were looking towards the chairs for fear that they would be the next to die. But this one prisoner stopped running, knowing that sooner or later he would be played to death by the group. He simply stood there and waited to die, but the officer thought he was challenging his authority. So the officer backhanded the prisoner and stabbed him to death with a dagger. But the female officer saw the cruel scene and became even more frantic, and even more cruel games were yet to come.